What it do, folks? It is your host, Sensei on Popcorn and Pork Rinds YouTube channel. And man, it's been a while since I've done one of these by myself. Yep, I'm just going to sit here and ramble about some stuff. 2026 has been reminiscent of 2016. I don't know how you were navigating 2016, but for me, 2016 was just dog ass, woof woof dog booty. For me, 2026 now has been very difficult. A lot has happened. Loss of family member, which is my brother passed away this year. Losing a whole ass vehicle. That's a whole nother story. Losing friends. Also reconnecting with some family members, but not going to say nothing about that. But we're not here to talk about none of that stuff. We are here to talk about the channel and just nerd stuff and all this other stuff. So when I started this channel, it started out as an everything channel. And I've had this conversation before, but I kind of want to give an update, right? So I slid into doing nerd stuff, lost a co-host, lost the other co-host, and it just kind of shifted into doing a lot of Magic the Gathering content. So then after that, some stuff happened, of course, right? I used to do Magic Monday, where I played a game, Arena or Grand Theft Auto or something. But I don't know, the reception was okay. It wasn't what I thought it was going to be. And then Tuesday was Storytime Tuesday. Storytime Tuesday took a lot to put in because it was a story that I started and then it got passed on to somebody else, where they continued the story, and then I narrated it and threw pictures on the screen and all this other good stuff, right? That's Storytime Tuesday, which I enjoyed doing. I wanted to see where people were going to take the story. It's still ongoing. I want somebody to end the story now. I mean, I guess I could, but it takes a lot. And then What Would You Do Wednesday? What Would You Do Wednesday is people, real people, would write into me talking about a situation that they were in, and they would ask the general public or community or whatever. That actually did really well. And I was actually going to drop What Would You Do Wednesday, but I saw the numbers and I was like, hey, I think I'm going to keep up with it. I would like to get back to all of that stuff, but it's just been difficult. It's been difficult. And of course, I don't really upload that much on the channel anymore. But as you see, I'm pumping out stuff right now just because it's therapeutic for me and a lot has happened. So I said, why not? So I'm going to do it, right? And then Sunday would be the podcast where we talked about just anything, right? Normally it was revolving around what was happening in the government and everything else, which in return on this channel, I would talk about everything. Sometimes I would talk about politics, and a lot of people that were following me weren't following me for like comic books or anime or anything. They were following me because of Magic the Gathering. So once I started putting more and more of that stuff out, numbers started dropping. I was like, oh. So then I created this other YouTube channel, Sensei. And that's where I was going to just talk about politics and put stuff together and all the findings that I had and connecting dots and so on and so forth. And then it just kind of hit me. There's so much discourse, so much anger, so much hate on the internet, and it feels overwhelming at this point. It feels way worse now than it ever did before. And of course, people are going to be like, oh no, it wasn't. Look, I'm not talking about you, I'm talking about me. If you can relate, cool. If you don't relate, it is what it is. This is my truth, right? But moving forward with the channel, I do want it to be a space where we can kind of gravitate away from what's happening in the world, because I don't want to ignore it, but also I don't want to constantly talk about it because it's an issue. It's an issue. But to have somewhere where you can actually just go and just talk about this thing without dragging everything else into it, because I kind of was doing that. I kind of felt some type of way where people were talking about just the hobby, but was kind of ignoring what was going on in the hobby. So then my mind changed. I go back to Facebook. I'm back in the admin on, this Magic the Gathering group. We're heavy-handed. We ban you. We don't care, because if you're going to direct threats at people, whether you're calling them stupid or whatever, no, you're banned. You're gone, because we're setting the narrative. Because people will get on the internet and say, oh, it's just the internet. That's just how it is. It's like that because people like that. because they allow it. They allow it to happen, and we're not. I'm at least in my group. I'm not allowing it to happen. I don't care. You're not walking on eggshells, but you know better. You know better, and people have accepted this type of bad behavior where don't talk about it, because if you don't talk about it, then it goes away. That it doesn't work that way. I've been told that a lot. You know, why would I hashtag blurred? Hello, I'm black. Okay, they got upset about that. Gee, I wonder why, right? And then of course me trying to find my people. You know, I'm trying to find like-minded people that I can relate to, don't have to worry about fucking racism, because yeah, racism is rampant in all of this shit. And that's why I watch other black people where they're like, hey, we have a black only Discord, and then guess who's getting mad about that? It mostly ain't minorities that are getting mad about the fact that black people, specifically, I can't talk about any other minority group, but black people creating a space where they feel safe, because that's why they're making it, because other people have said, oh, well, they're segregating and all this other. Well, you wouldn't like it if we made a white only space. Most of the spaces are white only by fucking design. But again, I'm not here to talk about all of that shit. I'm just here to talk about the YouTube channel and what I want to do moving forward. And that's what I want to do. I want to put out more content. I want to put out what I used to do, what I actually enjoyed, what would you do's and story times and all this other good stuff. But I don't know. We'll see, because 2026 has been rough. Not McGruff, rough, the crime dog. But yeah, I don't know. Leave some suggestions down in the comment section, or just, you know, talk about, you know, what got you through this year if you're feeling down, or, you know, or maybe you're successful. You know, share a success story in the comment section. You know, be inspirational, or, you know, be a help. And I'm trying to provide just some breathing room, if that makes sense. You know, because yeah, everything else. But anyways, thank you for tuning in to Popcorn and Pork Rinds YouTube channel, and you be well, stay safe, be vigilant. I'm out of here. Peace.